Let me first state that the Dorset Garden Theatre is beautiful and these seats are marvelous. Margaret is beaming with excitement to be out of the house and at the opening night of this production. At the beginning of the production, I was a little uncomfortable with how Helena and Florinda discussed their future plans with such discontent. This was their father's wishes they were speaking poorly of, and Don Pedro just wants to see these wishes through. Then Angelica comes into the story. I found her presence uncomfortable when Baldwin turns to me and says, I would not mind to pay 1,000 crowns for such beauty. It makes me wonder what led Angelica to this life. With Marjorie in mind, it hurt me to think about a situation where she might feel this a noble enough profession to be able to pay for the necessities. It hurts my heart to think of a time where my darling girl's image would be diminished to that of a harlot. Speaking of such, when Wilmore forces himself upon Florinda, where is Pedro? My Barnaby must always look out for his sister, especially if there ever comes a time where I am not around. That is the duty of the brother, to protect up until the time of the wedding. This production is really making me think about my family vastly. Now for the fourth act to begin and see how things unfold. I am in discomfort due to the events that have happened. I did know the premise of the play before going to see it, but in this particular rendition, things seem off at times and made me really think about my family and our values. I could not believe Florinda kept the secret that Belleville was disguised as Antonio. That shows immense disrespect for her brother. The women are always up to something. Helena ends up dressing as a man to sneak around. I have raised my daughter to be honest and respectful to all men, which are values these women do not seem to own. Then Florinda was almost raped by Blunt and Frederick. How disturbing it was when the line, "Revenge her on one whore for the sins of another," was said. If anyone were to assume my daughter was a whore, they would be at the end of my sword. Baldwin almost seemed disappointed that they did not continue with the rape. He will never understand the feeling of having to protect a daughter from such terrible horrors. I then felt I could not become more uncomfortable, but I was wrong. Angelica comes out with a gun pointed at Wilmore. Why would a lady, even a whore, have a gun at their disposal? The role of a woman is to tend to the home, not to seek revenge on whomever she pleases. My Margaret would never handle such a weapon. It is not the place of a lady. Alas, the carriage has stopped and it is time for the night to end. It was a wonderful evening out of the house, but if it were to ever happen again, I would not be seeing this particular production.